The night sky is sprinkled with stars as red lanterns float gently, setting the scene for a festival filled with laughter and joy. Down below, a group of people dressed in traditional attire are caught up in laughter, sharing the light-hearted mood of the evening. The lanterns continue to sway in the night air, and a young child, brimming with excitement, is seen amidst the crowd, adding to the festive spirit. People are seen mingling under the lantern-lit sky, with a father lifting his child high, both caught in the joyous celebration. Above the bustling streets, lanterns line the rooftops, casting a warm glow over the gathering crowds below. The streets are alive with people in traditional robes, wandering through the vibrant festival scene, taking in the sights and sounds. The lanterns float higher, painting a beautiful scene against the night sky, as exclamations of wonder fill the air. Within the crowd, a man with a hefty mustache eagerly chomps down on a delicious stuffed bun, enjoying the festival's culinary delights. A close-up of the stuffed bun shows its savory filling as the man continues to indulge in his snack. Nearby, a group of people gather, their faces a mix of curiosity and concern, as they observe something unfold. Amidst a blinding array of stacked plates, someone wonders if eating so much could be a mortal danger. There is a feast fit for a king, and our mysterious eater seems to be the star of the show. What's going on with this guy? Between the towering plates, we spot a dish of colorful, delicious-looking food. But wait, the plot thickens as someone starts to question the spectacle before them. And why indeed? Suddenly, an intriguing thought bubbles up. Is the man actually crying while devouring such a hearty meal? He's got the whole tears of joy thing going on, and it's making everyone curious. The camera pans out to reveal our mysterious diner, a rotund figure with a blurred face, devouring a massive drumstick and some other delicacy with chopsticks. This guy's got style, even if we can't see his face. The focus shifts back to the meal itself, and we hear a thoughtful Clearly, someone's deep in thought about this Epicurean enigma. Cut to a scene where two characters are discussing the eater. It's hinted that the viewer might be seeing him for the first time, but this man is well known in Henan. Turns out, the feasting fellow is famous, not just for his eating habits, but for something else. The conversation suggests that his reputation is quite well established. A different character chimes in with a chuckle, suggesting that it's not the man's looks that earned him fame. Clearly, there's more to him than meets the eye. One of the characters reflects on the folly of judging by appearances. There is a lesson in there somewhere, wrapped up in a merchant's wisdom. Amidst a shower of golden coins and jewels, the narrative suggests the man performed an unprecedented feat. This is no under the twinkling stars of Henan, whispers fill the air about a legendary figure. This mysterious person managed to unite all the merchant unions, a feat that seems almost mythical. Two figures discuss this in awe, one of them revealing that the man behind this massive unification is none other than the Grand Merchant himself. The legend of the Grand Merchant who unified all the merchant unions in Henan spreads like wildfire, confirming the earlier whispers. This man isn't just a merchant, he's a force of nature in the world of trade. Enter Yongwarin, the Grand Merchant himself. With a top knot, stern eyebrows, and an aura of intensity, he appears determined, or perhaps distressed, as he faces the world. Yongwarin is spotted indulging in an enormous piece of meat, tearing into it with gusto. His attire is regal, adorned with a necklace of golden beads, signifying his wealth and status. But it seems his appetite is just as grand. Yongwarin, the man of the hour, is introduced as the formidable leader of the Sky-Ocean Merchant Union. His reputation precedes him, but so does his undeniable love for food. Suddenly, a commanding stop breaks the air. A finger is pointed, accusatory yet concerned, directed at Yongwarin. The drama unfolds as we get a glimpse of the person behind the voice. A voice of reason points out the obvious. Normal folks eat 3 meals a day, but Yongwarin, oh boy, is eating like the apocalypse is coming tomorrow. An unidentified woman, clearly exasperated, steps in with a fierce expression, finger pointed in judgment at Yongwarin. Her concern is palpable as she addresses his insatiable hunger. Her plea echoes in the room, begging Yongwarin to stop his relentless eating. Her words hint at disbelief, recalling his once handsome visage before his current gluttonous state. As the unidentified woman pulls at Yongwarin, trying to stop him from overindulging, she warns him of the consequences. Her concern for his well-being is evident, but so is her struggle to control him. Yonghwaren's mind drifts to a memory, a haunting shadow that seems to fuel his excessive eating. There's a sense of dread as he recalls a nightmare from his past. Yonghwaren, enveloped in a dark aura, turns away, haunted by a memory that refuses to let go. This nightmare is the driving force behind his uncontrollable appetite. The unknown woman stands in a moment of reflection, her face blurred, yet showing determination. The scene opens with a dramatic confrontation on a grand balcony overlooking a glowing city. A mysterious figure, cloaked in shadow, reaches out towards a person in a blue robe. The tension is palpable, the air thick with the weight of unspoken words. Suddenly, the silence is broken by a fierce question, cutting through the tension like a knife. The cloaked figure is asked if they truly intend to continue living a life that leads only to death. The words hang in the air, heavy with urgency and anger. Amidst the confrontation, the name Yunhwa is whispered, carrying with it a sense of desperation and longing. The scene is charged with emotion, leaving the viewer on the edge of their seat. The scene shifts to a quiet night under the stars. A solitary cart moves along a forest path, its presence serene yet purposeful. Inside, an older man and a woman sit across from each other, their silence speaking volumes. Inside the cart, the man toys with a string of beads, his thoughts seemingly heavy. His companion, the woman, watches him with a calm yet knowing gaze, their shared silence punctuated by the soft clinking of the beads. The older man finally speaks, his voice carrying the weight of his years. He laments over the meaningless. The scene opens with a heavy-hearted confession from a man wrapped in a traditional robe. He speaks about a deep wound that refuses to heal, despite his attempts to cover it up with gluttony and extravagant jewels. The man continues, acknowledging that the pain of losing people can only be healed by the presence and warmth of others. His expression hints at a haunting memory, something that still gives him nightmares. A woman, sitting across from him, addresses him as young master. She appears to be a trusted confidant, as her respectful tone suggests a deep-rooted loyalty. With a soft exhale, the man reflects on how long it's been since he became part of the Sky-Ocean Merchant Union, yet the woman still honors him with his old title, refusing to call him head merchant. The woman, with unwavering devotion, insists that no matter how long it's been, he will always be the young master of the Tianzhong clan to her. Her words carry a weight of nostalgia and respect. Finally, the man notices the subtle signs of aging on the woman's face, calling her by the name Yunhwa. It's a tender. Soon after, our protagonist turns his back on his family, leaving behind the once prestigious martial arts clan he was born into. Despite being the eldest son, he finds himself effectively sold off to the Sky-Ocean Merchant Union in an arranged marriage. And guess what? He doesn't even refuse. Talk about going with the flow. As the days turn into years, the Tianzhong clan faces a devastating attack by the Dabi sect. The flames that consume his clan mirror the turbulent emotions burning within him. Kneeling on the ground, he watches the fiery chaos unfold. He finally realizes the complex whirlpool of feelings he harbors. Just as much as he hates his father, there's an undeniable love intertwined in that hatred. As the flames rage on, he comes to terms with these conflicting emotions, revealing a deep bond that persists despite the screen is filled with an explosion of energy, as if the universe is having a massive sneeze. It's all black and white, suggesting something is about to go down in a big way. A dramatic gua cuts through the chaos like a rock star's guitar riff, sending shockwaves through the scene. The world seems to be vibrating with tension. Here's our mystery guy, rocking long dark hair in a white robe with a red sash, headbutting a statue like it's a stubborn vending machine that won't give him his snack. Blood sprays, adding a splash of color to the chaos. The screen darkens, punctuated by explosive sound effects, as if the universe just burped after a spicy meal. Flames dance across the bottom, creating an ominous backdrop. A young girl with short, reddish-brown hair and wide, terrified eyes, dressed in orange, yells, "Stop!" as she reaches out in desperation. Her plea hangs in the air like a desperate tweet. Up close, the mystery guy's hands are gripping the statue tightly. The girl's voice trembles as she warns, "Yeah, you're really going to die," adding a layer of tension thicker than Grandma's gravy. The plea, "Please stop it," echoes in the darkness, resonating with a desperation that could fill a void. The universe seems to hold its breath, waiting for a response. The scene pulls back to reveal the girl trying to support the staggering figure, standing on a deserted street in front of a temple gate. The sky's ominous hue reflects the gravity of the moment. The screen dips into a gradient fade, a visual pause in the chaos, like the calm before a storm or the silence before a sneeze. Trees blur past as a carriage speeds through a forest under a moonlit sky. It's like someone's late for the world's most intense dinner reservation. The sound of hoofbeats fills the air, like a drum solo from an over-enthusiastic band. The carriage barrels through the night, driven by urgency and mystery. A closer look at the speeding carriage reveals the driver, a figure in blue, urging the horses onward. The scene crackles with energy, hinting. The scene opens up with our character, a bit blurred but clearly determined, making a bold statement. "I will change from now on." It's like they just had a revelation or something, that moment when the light bulb goes off. Next, we see them continuing with their newfound resolve, saying they'll repair the relationship with their wife, and oh boy, even promising to lose that damn fat. Well, looks like someone's gearing up for a total makeover, both inside and out. Our determined friend reflects on having had plenty of time to grieve. Now, they're all about serving the family they have from now on. Talk about turning over a new leaf. The mood shifts as we get a close-up of someone else, partially blurred, who seems to be in deep thought about how cold their wife might be. But hey, they chuckle it off, mentioning someone named Yunhwa, who they consider like family. Yunhwa, the ever-loyal companion, humbly responds, calling him young master. You can feel the respect and bond between these two, even if we can't see all their expressions clearly. As if the universe decided to test our character's resolve, something interrupts. The words, "I'll make sure to continue too," are abruptly cut off, and we see some intense action lines. Looks like chaos just crashed the party. Well, things just went from 0 to 100 real quick. Something's crashing or smashing, the action lines are going wild, and our previously calm setting is now a whirlwind of movement. Amidst the chaos, someone, possibly Yunhwa, is thrown into the mix. The blur and motion lines make it hard to catch, but it seems like they're caught in whatever's going down. More action lines, more chaos. It's like a storm hit the place, and everything's just flying everywhere. This isn't the change our character was talking about. Everything is upside down, literally. We see someone hanging in the air, caught in the chaos, with a shocked expression. The situation's gone haywire, and it's a wild ride. The action continues with more dramatic lines and crashes. It's like a scene from an action movie, where everything's just a blur of speed and noise. Amidst the chaos, a carriage is caught in the fray. Being slammed with a loud crash, someone is thrown through the air, screaming in pain. The setting is a dense forest, and things are about to get real messy. The scene shifts to show a figure plummeting towards the ground, and as they tumble, a string of beads falls alongside them, caught in the chaos. The sky is filled with the sound of something rushing, and the trees stand tall, seemingly indifferent to the commotion happening below. Another loud thud echoes, and the figure hits the ground with a heavy impact, letting out a pained The wind howls as another presence makes itself known, adding to the tension in the air. Something or someone is moving fast. A mysterious figure with long, flowing white hair sprints through the forest, leaving a trail of dust and determination behind. A blur of motion reveals an object flying through the air. It's unclear what it is, but it adds to the already chaotic scene. The white-haired figure slams into a tree, using it to halt their momentum. The impact sends shockwaves through the air. The character, hidden behind a blurred face, takes a brief pause, perhaps catching their breath or plotting their next move. Blood drips from the character's mouth onto their arm, signaling that the fight has taken a toll on their body. Despite the pain, they think to themselves, "My organs are in tatters." Not the most comforting thought, right? Out of nowhere, shadowy figures dash through the forest, closing in on the wounded warrior. The tension is rising. Summoning the strength, the white-haired character lets out a determined H as they brace for the incoming threat. Finally, we see the fierce resolve in their eyes. Bloodied but not beaten, this character is ready to take on whatever comes next. Boom! The scene erupts in crimson chaos as Korean characters explode across the page, setting the stage for some serious action. The voice of an unseen force booms with confidence, declaring, "I wouldn't be known as the demonic master," amidst the fiery backdrop. Things are getting heated as the shadowy figure stands amidst the chaos, adding a splash of mystery to the mix. Sounds of struggle echo through the air with a sharp ugh, signaling that someone might be in a bit of a pickle. Shifting scenes, the atmosphere cools as a tranquil forest emerges, the sound of soft footsteps breaking the silence. It's like nature's way of saying, "Chill out, dude." The scene zooms in on a battered warrior, face down in the dirt. The aftermath of the chaos is evident as he lies among the debris, a testament to the earlier clash. With a deep, labored breath, the warrior pushes himself up, revealing a face etched with determination and exhaustion. His hair is slicked back, giving him a rugged yet noble appearance, despite the dire situation. The camera pans down to the warrior's hands, gripping the earth as if drawing strength from it, ready to face whatever comes next. A glimpse over the warrior's shoulder reveals a shadowy figure lying in the distance, the moonlight casting an eerie glow over the scene. As the warrior's gaze falls upon the figure, realization dawns and urgency grips his heart. Who is this mysterious figure? The sight of the figure sprawled on the ground prompts a desperate cry, "Yunhwa!" The warrior's voice cracks with emotion, revealing a personal stake in the unfolding drama. Driven by urgency, the warrior dashes toward the fallen figure, his face a mask of determination mixed with desperation. A close-up reveals the blurred face of Yunhwa, eyes wide and filled with a mixture of fear and pain, as they utter a shaky "ah" in response to the warrior's approach. The warrior's hand grips Yunhwa's shoulder, a silent promise of protection and hope as the night continues to watch over them. In a chilling scene, a man with a look of disbelief cradles a seemingly lifeless body, whispering, "What?" as if the world just pulled a fast one on him. His grip tightens around the bloody figure, and the weight of the moment hangs heavy in the air. The next moment, an ominous thought strikes him. What is this stroke of misfortune? Sending shockwaves through his mind. The weight of the situation crushes him to his knees, and he gazes at the sky as if asking for answers. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to a blood-smeared path winding through the forest, a silent testament to a brutal encounter. With urgency in the air, an eerie voice echoes, "I need to find a new body before my heart stops." The camera zooms in on a mysterious figure, battered and bloodied, kneeling in the woods. This white-haired stranger, with a face of desperation and resolve, is determined to survive by any means necessary. The figure mutters about needing to use a spirit possession technique, a last-ditch effort for salvation. However, the grim reality sets in, and the figure is left questioning, "Is this where my journey ends?" Suddenly, a voice interrupts, "Hey, old man," bringing a glimmer of hope or perhaps a new twist to his fate. The scene unfolds in a misty, ethereal forest where a brooding man with a slick ponytail and a face etched with anger confronts an unseen figure. "I lost a member of my family because she got tangled up in your mess," he declares, his voice heavy with sorrow and accusation. Shrouded in the twilight, the accused stands silent, their presence barely visible. The air is thick with tension as the question, "Why did you have to fight here?" hangs unanswered, a testament to the chaos that has ensued. Desperation clings to the atmosphere as the bereaved man demands, "Say something." His voice echoes, a plea for acknowledgement amidst the turmoil that has shattered his world. With a blur of motion, the angry man seizes the other by the collar, dragging him into the moonlight. The face revealed is worn and battered, silver hair matted with blood, the marks of a warrior etched into his features. A cry of anguish pierces the night. "My family just died." His words are raw, an open wound laid bare. A murmur, almost lost in the wind, whispers, "You shouldn't." The old man, his face now visible, stares back defiantly despite the blood and bruises. His eyes, sharp and fierce, betray no fear. The question mark hangs in the air, a silent challenge. Suddenly, the focus shifts, zooming in on a pair of bloodied fingers. The crimson liquid drips ominously, a foreshadowing of the violence that is yet to come. With a swift motion, the hand clenches into a fist, energy crackling around it like a storm. The tension reaches a fever pitch, the promise of a devastating attack looming over the scene. The old warrior, his eyes burning with resolve, prepares to unleash his power. A fierce light surrounds him, his form a silhouette against the fiery backdrop of his unleashed fury. The opposing force, a man with a thick mustache and an expression of pure rage, braces himself. His face contorts in a mixture of anger and shock as the energy crackles around him. With a burst of speed, the mustached man charges forward, leaving trails of light in his wake. The force of his movement is palpable, the ground trembling beneath his feet. Amidst the chaos, the old man executes a precise move. "A pressure point attack?" the mustached man exclaims, disbelief written across his face as he is momentarily paralyzed. The scene concludes with the mustached man losing his footing, his body lifted off the ground by the force of the attack. The silent forest bears witness to the unfolding drama, as both men are caught in the throes of their fateful confrontation. The scene opens with a man crashing dramatically to the ground, the impact sending shockwaves through the earth. The poor guy's having a rough day, and from the looks of it, he's not exactly in control of his situation. Our unfortunate hero, still lying on the ground, realizes with growing dread, "My body won't move." His face, a picture of disbelief and frustration, paints 1,000 words. As he stares helplessly at his motionless hand, a voice, heavy with exhaustion, whispers, "You shouldn't treat an injured old man like that." Enter the old man, looking like he just stepped out of a legendary saga, with long white hair and a mustache that could rival any martial arts master. The old man, bloodied yet dignified, stands tall amidst the chaos, lamenting, "Treat an injured old man like that," clearly not impressed with the current state of affairs. As our hero lies on the ground, he can only manage a weak "ah" as the weight of his predicament sinks in. Realization hits him like a ton of bricks. I knew he was a martial artist. The regret is palpable as he acknowledges the skills of the man he confronted. With a heavy heart, he admits, "But I lost my temper." A classic case of "oops, my bad," as he reflects on his hasty decisions. And then, in a moment of pure candidness, he just lets it out, "Shit," because sometimes no other word can capture the gravity of the situation. Meanwhile, the old man muses aloud, "As it's my last time using the spirit possession technique, I wanted a young and talented body so I could live a long life." Talk about having some serious life goals. The old man, looking like a seasoned warrior, prepares to carry out his plan, even as time ticks away. In a moment of amidst a chaotic scene filled with red energy, an intense figure with sharp features and long white hair is on the brink of a desperate act. He seems unfazed by the concept of inhabiting a less-than-ideal vessel, even if it's metaphorically referred to as a pig. With determination blazing in his eyes, this white-haired figure declares his need to live, clutching onto a figure shrouded in mystery. Red energy crackles and surges, the air thick with anticipation of the impending transfer. With a calm resolve, he vows to inject 160 years' worth of martial essence into his left hand, drawing forth the power of true chi. His left hand brimming with energy, he directs his focus to his right hand, where he plans to channel the culmination of his soul and spirit. The energy swirls around him as his left and right hands prepare to accomplish this epic transfer. His determination peaks as he yells, intending to infuse all this power into his new body. The energy reaches a crescendo, a fiery beam of red illuminating the surroundings. The climax of the energy transfer bursts forth, casting a bright light across the scene. The intense power has subsided, leaving the white-haired figure lying still. The scene opens with a mysterious warrior sitting on the ground, visibly exhausted and clutching his wounds. Has clearly been through a fierce battle, his clothes torn and dirtied, as he tries to steady his breathing. His opponent is sprawled on the ground, struggling to get back up, indicating the intensity of the fight. The ground is cracked beneath him, evidence of the power and force that was exchanged in their confrontation. Amidst the chaos, the fallen warrior lets out a soft a mix of surprise and disbelief at the turn of events. His silver hair cascades around his face, a stark contrast to the dirt and blood marking the battlefield. A blurred-faced warrior, with determination etched into his every muscle, clenches his fist. The tension is palpable as he gathers his resolve for what's to come, his eyes burning with a fierce intensity. The atmosphere is electric, as his opponent, still reeling from the clash, feels the pressure building. His eyes widen in shock as he realizes the gravity of the situation. With a smirk that could send chills down anyone's spine, the blurred-faced warrior seems to be on the verge of claiming victory, his eyes glowing with a sinister light. As he begins to declare his triumph, a sudden interruption cuts him off. His words, "I have succeed," are left hanging in the air as the tables seem to turn once more. The warrior with the blurred face is caught off guard, his expression shifting from smugness to shock as his opponent rises with unexpected vigor. Desperation creeps into his voice as he exclaims, This bastard!" unable to comprehend how his opponent can still stand after everything. The silver-haired warrior, now aglow with an intense red aura, declares, "Do not be suppressed by my true chi and spiritual power," his strength surging in a defiant comeback. The blurred-faced warrior, now visibly struggling, realizes the depth of his opponent's power, feeling the overwhelming energy bearing down on him. Despite the overwhelming odds, the warrior gathers himself, muttering, "I must survive and avenge my clan." A fierce clash of energies erupts as two warriors, one in a fiery red and the other in a cool blue, engage in an intense battle. The air crackles with power as they fight with everything they have. With a fiery determination, the warrior in red lunges forward, his energy swirling around him like a storm. His opponent, equally charged, braces for the impact, their energies colliding in a dazzling display. The clash continues, neither side willing to back down. The tension is palpable as they push each other to their limits, the air thick with the sound of their power. Despite the intensity of the battle, one warrior is taken aback by the sheer willpower of his adversary. Yet, as the fight drags on, he begins to feel the strain, an escaping his lips. The warrior in red stands tall, his energy blazing, but he knows deep down that his opponent's efforts are in vain. But it's futile, he declares, his confidence unwavering. His opponent struggles, consciousness slipping away, the weight of the battle taking its toll. Each moment feels like a desperate grasp at reality as his vision blurs. With his consciousness fading away, the warrior in blue feels himself slipping, the world around him dimming with every passing second. In a different part of the forest, a shadowy figure emerges, his posture tense and ready. The night air is thick with anticipation as the next chapter unfolds. Sword in hand, the mysterious figure stands tall, the glint of steel catching the moonlight. His breath is steady, his purpose clear as he prepares to make his move. Surprise hits the scene as someone questions the ability to transfer bodies, acknowledging the prowess of the demonic master. The tension builds as words are exchanged. A close-up reveals a determined face, a bead of sweat trickling down as realization dawns. The demonic master's power is undeniable, yet a challenge is thrown. The challenger speaks with conviction, acknowledging the demonic master's reputation, but making it clear that his life of parasitism ends here. In a swift motion, the sword-wielding figure charges forward, the intent to end this parasitic existence clear in his every movement. The scene shifts as the spirit possession technique was just about to finish, setting the stage for something epic to unfold. A fierce battle erupts as a mysterious figure lunges forward, attacking a warrior caught off guard. The warrior lets out a painful as the blade cuts deep. Blood spills as the warrior lets out a gut-wrenching scream, his face contorted in agony. It's a brutal scene, folks. An explosion of energy lights up the night, painting the sky in shades of red and black as the aftermath of the spirit possession takes hold. The energy surges through the forest, crackling and sparking as it moves, leaving a path of destruction in its wake. The sky remains ominous, with the energy still lingering, casting an eerie glow over the surroundings. As the dust settles, the scene shifts to a tranquil blue sky, clouds floating peacefully as if nothing ever happened. A soft groan breaks the serenity. Someone is waking up, and it's not looking good for them. Our mysterious character regains consciousness, feeling a splitting headache and wondering where they are. In a moment of confusion, our protagonist finds themselves in an unknown location, questioning their surroundings. Observing their new environment, they see shelves filled with books and jars. An apothecary? They wonder. Their throat dry, they realize the physical toll of the battle. There is a sudden commotion in a traditional-looking room as someone urgently calls out, "Young master, are you all right?" Clearly, something has just gone down, and panic is in the air. A figure dashes into the room, their face blurred, but their intention clear. They're worried about the young master. The concerned figure, still with a blurred face, exclaims, "I just heard something break," suggesting that the disturbance was quite alarming. The mysterious figure, now known as Yeonhwa, seems to be the one who rushed in. Her face remains indistinct, but her worry is palpable. The young master turns to Yeonhwa, asking, "Yeonhwa, is that you?" Clearly, there's something unusual about this encounter. The young master, with a puzzled expression, grips Yeonhwa by the shoulders and asks, "How did you become younger?" This question adds a layer of mystery to the unfolding events. Yeonhwa gently inquires, "Young master, did you have another nightmare?" While the young master stands speechless, deep in thought. The young master, lost in thought, concludes, "Yes, this must be a dream." His disbelief is almost tangible. Suddenly, the young master steps on something sharp, wincing in pain with an "ah!" His foot meets broken shards, a painful reminder of reality. Yeonhwa, concerned, questions, "Young master, why did you step on that barefoot?" Meanwhile, the young master questions the lack of pain, hinting at the surreal nature of his experience. The young master stands, foot bleeding, looking bewildered. His face is blurred, but his confusion is with wide golden eyes and a mane of flowing dark hair. Our protagonist seems to have stumbled upon a crucial realization. The words "could it be" escape his lips, indicating a moment of shocking clarity. The tension rises as his eyes widen in alarm, hinting at an unexpected revelation or threat. Amidst this suspense, two figures are seen dashing through a traditional courtyard. One of them, worried, calls out, "Young master, you shouldn't move around with a wounded foot," as they hustle past a serene row of trees. In a moment of disbelief under the bright sky, a man in a white robe is seen grappling with a shocking revelation, exclaiming, "This is impossible." His long black hair flows as he processes the weight of this unexpected moment. A mysterious figure, face blurred, stands nearby in a traditional robe, adding to the tension surrounding the unfolding drama. The scene suddenly shifts to a dark, ominous atmosphere as the man questions, "Why is this?" with increasing desperation, indicating a deeper mystery and distress. The darkness deepens, suggesting something ominous is unfolding, heightening the suspense of the moment. Though his face is obscured, the man's posture shows distress, clutching his head as if struggling to comprehend the magnitude of what's happening. A sudden loud crash echoes through the scene, and the man appears to collapse, overwhelmed by the gravity of the situation. The scene fades to black, leaving viewers hanging in suspense as the dramatic tension reaches a peak. The setting transitions back to a serene environment, with a stone statue standing in peaceful solitude amidst the unfolding chaos. A delicate hand reaches out, trembling slightly, as if trying to grasp something intangible, hinting at a new beginning or realization. A young girl with wide, curious eyes calls out Yeonhwa, breaking the tension with her innocent gaze. Dressed in a simple yellow robe, the scene opens up with a young man, sporting long black hair and intense eyes, staring skeptically at a statue that looks suspiciously like him. "This statue of me refusing to meet my father," he mutters, eyes narrowing. "When did I have it placed?" Clearly, he's got no memory of commissioning such a masterpiece. Cut to a young maid in a mustard yellow robe, standing awkwardly nearby, her eyes wide as the young man reaches out to touch the mysterious statue. She looks like she's caught in a real-life soap opera moment, unsure of what's about to go down. With a puzzled expression, the young maid finally speaks up. "It's been about 5 days, young master," she explains, leaving the mysterious young man with more questions than answers. 5 days of what, we wonder? The young maid stands nervously, holding her hands together, clearly not used to dealing with such strange happenings in her day-to-day life. Her eyes dart around, perhaps expecting some drama to unfold. Meanwhile, the young master looks up at the sky, determination in his eyes. 5 days? I'll find out myself, he declares, ready to uncover the truth behind this bizarre statue situation. Suddenly, the air shifts as the young maid looks on, her face a blur of surprise and concern. Something's about to go down, and it's not just the temperature. The scene erupts into chaos as red energy crackles through the air, the young master's eyes glowing with a fierce intensity. There's a sense of power and danger emanating from him, as if he's about to unleash a storm. The young maid gasps in horror, "Young master." She stutters as the young man stands amidst the swirling energy, his eyes locked on something we can't quite see yet. The air is filled with the sound of shattering stone as debris flies everywhere. The young man's power is on full display now, and it's both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Amidst the chaos, the young man's face is a mask of fury and determination. His eyes blaze like fire, and it's clear he's not going to back down from whatever challenge lies ahead. The ground trembles as more stone crumbles, the sheer force of the young man's power causing the environment itself to quake. It's a sight to behold, and yet there's a sense of foreboding in the air. The scene is filled with the sound of stone fragments raining down, the young man's power seemingly growing with each passing second. It's a moment of raw energy and tension. The sky itself seems to crackle with the young man's power, as if the very heavens are reacting to his presence. It's a display of might that leaves no room for doubt about his abilities. Amidst the chaos, the young man's hair flows like a river of darkness, his presence commanding and unyielding. It's clear that he's not just any ordinary character in this story. The young master, as the scene bursts into action, a young woman lets out a startled "Kia." Her hair tied in a neat bun, she looks on in horror, dressed in a simple, flowing robe. The sky is a bright blue with fluffy clouds, but something has gone terribly wrong. A figure in white sprawls on the ground, surrounded by shattered pieces. The girl gasps, "Young master?" Clearly, this is someone of importance, and the situation is dire. The traditional architecture in the background suggests a historical setting. Blood drips ominously as a voice echoes in disbelief. This is no dream. The sharp teeth and intense blood-streaked face suggest a fierce determination or perhaps a terrifying transformation. I don't know how, but I'm back in the past. The realization hits hard. Our character is clearly grappling with a temporal twist, and the stakes are higher than ever. The sight of a broken statue triggers a poignant memory. The character seems to be piecing together a puzzle, with every shard of stone telling a story. I have 3 years. The thought hangs heavy in the air. It's not just time, it's a countdown to an inevitable doom that must be averted. A blurred figure looms, adding an air of mystery and impending doom. The clock is ticking, and the clan's fate is at stake. The ground is littered with shattered stone, blood, and remnants of what was once whole. The blurred figure stands amidst the chaos, a silent witness to the destruction. Amidst the rubble and a gathering crowd, whispers fill the air. There's a sense of urgency and disbelief as people try to understand the unfolding events. A young onlooker, clearly shocked, watches as the realization dawns. The determination in the air is palpable. I will. The vow is clear. I will protect my people and the Tianzhong clan. The commitment is strong, the resolve unbreakable. The face remains blurred, but the message is loud and clear. The character's determination is unwavering, their mission set in stone. The final declaration is made. At all costs. The stakes couldn't be higher, the resolve couldn't. So, picture this. Majestic mountains reaching for the sky, their peaks piercing the clouds. The Tianzhong clan, residing near these Henan Tianzhong mountains, was the stuff of legends in the martial arts world. With time, several households sprang up, naming themselves after the mountain like a bunch of superfans. But then, the Yong clan came in and said, "Let's make this official," and unified them all. The people of Henan, with much admiration, called them the Tianzhong Yong clan, a name that echoed through the valleys like a catchy tune. Check out this fierce dragon. Those who remember the good old days can't help but rave about the clan's glory. However, all good things must come to an end, and the Tianzhong Yong clan's fame plummeted, leaving them as just the Tianzhong clan. The once mighty Tianzhong clan is now just a shadow of its former self, clinging to the past like your grandma's old photo albums. A man, possibly reminiscing or just in need of a caffeine fix, sips his tea, pondering the last 30 years. And here's the kicker. Despite having a legendary figure like Elder Yong Gosong, the supreme dragon of Henan, the clan hasn't attracted any expert martial artists. Meet Yong Biang, the current clan head, with a face hidden like a secret. But his attire suggests a man of stature and tradition. Under the serene canopy of trees, 2 figures sit at a stone table. The atmosphere is thick with nostalgia as one of them, dressed in elegant traditional garments, laments the clan's faded glory. describing it as nothing more than a shadow of its former self. As the conversation drifts to the colorful blooms at their feet, they can't help but acknowledge the sad truth that their clan is a mere shell of its past. It's like admitting you're the weakest link in a reality show. Painful, but necessary. The duo's conversation takes a hopeful turn as they pin their aspirations on Hwarin, hoping Hell be the guiding star, leading them to a brighter tomorrow. It's a classic, Hez Our Only Hope moment, straight out of a space opera. As tea is poured, the air grows heavier with unsaid words. One of them hints at the elephant in the room, a mutual acquaintance's burning animosity toward them. With a resigned sigh, the other admits that the hatred they face is likely deserved, a bitter pill to swallow. Turns out, a hasty remarriage after the death of a loved one can stir up quite the drama. A gentle voice suggests patience might be the key. Perhaps, with time, the bitter feelings will mellow out, like that sweater you accidentally shrunk in the wash. Despite the patience pep talk, one character reflects that time has only widened the gulf between them and their adversary. It's like trying to bridge a canyon with a toothpick. Taking a stroll down memory lane, they recall a bizarre encounter from 5 days ago. During a visit, the other party had placed a statue in the garden and asked them to pretend it was him. Talk about stone-cold distancing. The camera pans to the face of the storyteller, whose expression is a blend of confusion and exasperation. It's a mood we all know too well. When life throws you curveballs you didn't even see coming. A character is seen apologizing for complaining too much when suddenly someone calls out to the Sea Clan head in a hurried manner, causing them to take off running with urgency. A swift transition shows the character racing through a lush garden, their feet a blur as they move with determination. Sunlight filters through a canopy of green leaves, offering a moment of calm before the storm. Sitting at a garden table, two figures are startled by the arrival of a young boy who pants heavily, trying to catch his breath as he calls out to Yeonhwa. The tension rises as the young boy tries to speak, but his words falter under the weight of his emotions. Young Master Hwarin, he suddenly. The boy's face is flushed with tears, his eyes wide with fear and distress as he struggles to convey the urgency of his message. A voice cuts through the tension, commanding the boy to stop crying and articulate the issue clearly. Finally, the young boy manages to blurt out the troubling news. Young Master Hwarin hurt himself and is unconscious. A dramatic reaction ensues from a figure in an elegant robe, exclaiming "What?" in shock and disbelief. A blank page, possibly symbolizing a moment of suspense as the gravity of the situation sinks in. The title appears with bold calligraphy, setting the stage for the events to unfold. Another blank space, leaving viewers in anticipation of what's next in this unfolding drama. The morning sun peeks through the windows, casting a gentle glow across a beautifully furnished room. It's the kind of peaceful scene that makes you want to hit the snooze button just one more time. A close-up reveals a person stirring in their sleep, letting out a soft as they snuggle deeper into their pillow. This is the universal sound of someone who is not ready to face the day just yet. The dream seems to take a turn as their brows furrow, and a shadow of concern crosses their face. Whatever's happening in Dreamland, it sure ain't a walk in the park. Suddenly, we're whisked away from the room to the wide open sky, where the sound of rushing water fills the air. It's as if the dream is cascading into reality. The view widens to reveal a breathtaking waterfall, its waters crashing into a serene pool below. Nature's own chill-out zone, perfect for a morning dip or a bit of soul-searching. Enter Hwarin, who seems to have taken a liking to this watery paradise. As a voice calls out to them, the playful banter suggests this isn't their first rodeo at the falls. Hwarin's enthusiastic "yeah" confirms their love for the waterfall's thrills. Meanwhile, a figure in red watches over them, perhaps with a mix of amusement and mild concern. A laugh echoes as Hwarin marvels at the bounty of koi fish in the clear waters. It's like an impromptu aquarium visit, minus the entrance fee. A triumphant shout, "Mother, look!" erupts as Hwarin proudly displays a massive catch. The fish is almost comically oversized, flapping around like it's auditioning for a splashy movie role. The excitement builds as Hwarin clutches their prize, their eyes alight with joy and a hint of mischief. This is a memory in the making. In a dramatic twist, Hwarin's gaze shifts and the mood suddenly changes. Whatever's caught their attention, it's enough to make their eyes widen in shock. The scene takes a turn as Hwarin suddenly plunges into the water, the splash echoing their surprise and urgency. Something's definitely up. Concern fills the air as Hwarin calls out, "Mother?" The water ripples in response, echoing their confusion and worry. The final scene reveals the mother figure, resting on a rock, her posture suggesting she has fallen or perhaps fainted. The peaceful waterfall now serves as, in the quiet room, a figure rests uneasily, whispering the names Rin and Hwarin into the darkness. It's a moment of vulnerability as emotions swirl around them. Rin is cocooned in their blanket, the weight of unspoken words pressing down. The room is still, save for the soft rustle of the blanket as Rin shifts slightly. A soothing voice pierces the silence, inviting my sweet child to come closer. It's a tender moment, a promise of safety and love in the midst of sorrow. A woman with long dark hair and soft eyes reaches out to Rin, her face blurred yet exuding warmth. She expresses regret for not being able to accompany Rin to catch koi at the waterfall. A heartfelt apology fills the air, acknowledging the inability to join Rin in their small adventure, yet offering comfort in words. Rin finds solace in the embrace of their mother, the word "mom" escaping in a sniffle. It's a moment of deep connection and reassurance. With gentle words, the mother assures Rin that she's okay and urges them to stop crying. Her voice is a balm, attempting to soothe the emotional storm. The atmosphere shifts as a sinister voice commands Rin to stop crying, labeling them as weak. The tone is harsh, a sharp contrast to the earlier tenderness. Rin's face is highlighted, tears clinging to their eyelashes, eyes wide with a mix of fear and disbelief. The emotional conflict is raw and palpable. The darkness deepens as the voice continues, calling Rin a weakling, its presence oppressive and threatening. A terrifying creature with a monstrous visage and blazing eyes towers over Rin. Its intention is clear, to claim Rin's head as a gruesome reward. The creature's maw opens wide, a cavernous, menacing void ready to consume. The danger is imminent, a nightmare unfolding before Rin's eyes. Rin gasps, a soft exclamation escaping as the creature's grip tightens. The terror is overwhelming, a heart-stopping moment of impending doom. The scene opens with an enigmatic swirl of action, and bam! A loud scream of "ah!" fills the air, catching us off guard. Our protagonist, a guy with long flowing black hair, bursts into the scene in a flurry of motion. He's in a panic mode, eyes wide open as if he just saw a ghost. With a swift move, he crashes onto the ground, looking a bit like a clumsy ninja who just missed a step. His clothes flutter around as he tries to regain his composure, his face showing signs of deep bewilderment. Now, we're right in the thick of his confusion. His chest is heaving as he catches his breath, eyes darting around, trying to make sense of everything. He's sweating bullets, realizing something's not quite right. Our guy starts to speak, his voice tinged with disbelief. This place feels familiar, yet foreign. He glances around the room, which looks like a blast from the past with its vintage decor and stacks of books. Has hit with a wave of nostalgia. It's my room when I was younger. The realization crashes over him like a tidal wave as he grapples with the surreal situation, questioning his reality. The room is filled with silence as he contemplates, if I'm still here. The quiet ambiance of his old room contrasts sharply with the chaos in his mind. Taking in the vintage furniture, the antique chairs and tables, he slowly starts piecing things together. The room is eerily familiar, yet it holds a different vibe from what he remembers. Then it hits him like a plot twist in a movie. It must really mean that I am back in the past. His face, shrouded in confusion, starts to accept this bizarre reality. He looks down at himself, the clothes he is wearing, the bed he is sitting on. Everything feels like a relic from another time. He's stuck in a moment of disbelief. His thoughts spiral, the past when I hated my father and isolated myself from my family. The weight of his past emotions surfaces, making him confront the mistake. The scene opens with a mysterious figure lost in the agony of recalling their father and family's death, as well as the tragic fall of their clan. It's a heavy moment, with the weight of sorrow pressing down like a ton of bricks. A gruesome image of a body, brutally stabbed and lying in a pool of blood, haunts our character. The past is full of tragedy, and the pain of loss is palpable. Contemplation follows as a thought sparks a glimmer of hope, perhaps. Determination kicks in as the character muses about changing the course of these dreadful events. The words "I can stop all that from happening" ring with a newfound resolve. Our hero's face is obscured, but the intensity in their eyes is unmistakable. They seem to be gearing up for a major comeback. With a revelation that screams, "Since I know the future," the character is ready to rewrite their fate. Time travel vibes, anyone? Here's our main character, looking fierce and determined, with luscious long black hair and a bandage around the head. The sweat running down their face speaks volumes about their resolve and readiness to face whatever comes. A sudden burst of energy surrounds our hero, leaving them momentarily confused as they exclaim, "Huh!" The atmosphere is charged with anticipation. A peaceful scene transitions to an elegant building, setting a new stage for the unfolding drama. Two individuals are seen gossiping with a mix of disbelief and excitement. They're discussing an unbelievable event. A statue was destroyed with a headbutt. Say what? Doubt fills the air as one of them questions how someone bedridden with sickness could achieve such a feat, especially without martial arts training. As if to counter the skepticism, one insists, "I saw it with my own eyes." The mystery deepens. Enter our hero, making a dramatic entrance with arms wide open, unleashing a powerful aura that stops everyone in their tracks. Wide-eyed and jaws dropped, the scene is electric with tension as our protagonist struggles under an intense, unseen weight. With a pained expression and a gasp, they exclaim, "It's too much!" Clearly, something big is going down, and it's not looking good. Still caught in the throes of this mysterious burden, they mutter that this isn't good. Panic is setting in, and the urgency is palpable. A moment of introspection hits them. They think, "I feel like if I don't do anything about this, what could possibly be so daunting that it's got them this rattled?" A sudden realization dawns. I might do something I should not. With that, the scene shifts, leaving us hanging on the edge of our seats. Enter the sprinting young master, tearing down the path like he's running from a ghost. Bystanders look on in surprise, one of them blurting out, "Ya, young master." Clearly, this isn't a common sight. Two concerned individuals observe his reckless pace and attire. One of them laments, "It's still cold. He shouldn't go around in that outfit." They worry that they'll be the ones to face the consequences of his actions. Ah, classic case of misplaced responsibility. The scene opens with a lone figure sprinting through a lush bamboo forest. The sky above is a peaceful blue, starkly contrasting the urgency in his stride. He's running, not for exercise, but as if the devil himself were on his heels. His internal monologue reveals the source of his terror, an old man whose energy threatens to consume him entirely. The forest blurs around him as he picks up speed, driven by the need to escape whatever fate awaits him. With his face obscured, we see only the intense focus and determination in his eyes. The air around him seems to shimmer with the heat of his exertion as he pushes himself to the limit. In a desperate attempt, he stretches his hand outward as if trying to grasp at something unseen. His body is a blur of motion, every muscle tensed for the leap that might just save his life. The leap takes him high, the clouds parting momentarily as he soars upwards. It's a moment of clarity and fear as he realizes the stakes of his situation. Upon landing, he finds himself in a different realm, surrounded by towering bamboo stalks. His foot hits the ground with a determined thud, continuing his relentless pursuit of safety. The scene shifts to a waterfall, majestic and powerful. Without hesitation, he dives into the cascading water, the sound of the splash echoing through the air. Submerged, he's momentarily enveloped by the cool embrace of the water, a brief respite from the turmoil above. But even here, he can't linger, for the danger is ever present. Emerging from the depths, he breaks the surface with a gasp, water cascading off him like a second skin. The world around him is blurred with mist and uncertainty. The water parts around him as he stands, his drenched form a silhouette of defiance against the forces pursuing him. He's caught between the elements, but determined to survive. With a weary exhale, he finally takes a moment to regroup. The world settles into a tense calm, the immediate threat seemingly at bay, but he knows it's only a matter of time. His thoughts are a jumble, but clarity cuts. The scene opens with a dramatic revelation. Someone has just been saved, and the tension is palpable. The hair of the person reveals it's none other than Hwarin. There's a brief moment of relief as a soft laughter escapes, breaking the intensity. A name is called out, Hwarin. The urgency in the voice hints at a deep connection between the characters. The blurred face adds mystery, but the bond is clear as day. Golden eyes widen in surprise, catching the viewer off guard. Who could this be looking at Hwarin with such intensity? The suspense is killing us. A bright and sunny sky lightens the mood, but an exclamation mark hints that something big is about to happen. What could it be? A man, likely a father figure, is seen sprinting through a bamboo forest towards Hwarin. The urgency in his stride suggests he's got something important to say. Standing by the water, the figure whispers, "Father." The hesitation in their voice suggests a complex relationship. Is this a reunion or a confrontation? With water splashing dramatically, the father figure demands to know what Hwarin is doing. His tone is a mix of concern and frustration, typical dad vibes. Water ripples and silence fills the air, leaving space for unspoken words. The tension is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. The father figure confesses, "I know you hate me," revealing a chasm between them. His concern about the cold day suggests he's worried for Hwarin's safety. A touching moment of connection as the father figure tenderly holds Hwarin's head. Silence speaks louder than words here. Hwarin's voice breaks through, expressing a longing for their father. The question about the father's forehead hints at past. In the quiet ambience, a character ponders the idea of showing affection, concerned that it might seem out of place if done too abruptly. With hesitation, the character's hand retreats, underscoring the internal conflict about expressing emotions openly. A resolution forms in the character's mind, deciding to take things slow and build a relationship naturally. Determined to bridge the gap, the character plans to get closer naturally, step by step. Amidst a serene bamboo backdrop, the decision to proceed slowly solidifies, adding a touch of calm before the storm. In a splash of emotions, two figures embrace in water, an unexpected reunion filled with warmth and a hint of drama. The scene softens as the words "father" break the silence, suggesting a heartfelt revelation about to unfold. With emotions running high, the phrase "I'm back" echoes, signaling a significant return and the mending of bonds. Onlookers witness the touching reunion, a scene that feels almost surreal amidst the tranquil surroundings. Hope floats in the air as one character wishes this moment to be eternal, a dream never to end. A blank canvas of emotions takes over, leaving room for reflection and the weight of the moment. As time passes, the narrative takes a leap forward by 3 months, hinting at changes and new beginnings. Serenity captures the scene, with two figures peacefully fishing on a dock, a testament to time healing. Amidst a chuckle, someone is feeling quite confident about winning a bet. Who doesn't love a bit of friendly competition, right? In the next scene, we meet Yong Ki-jung, the younger half-brother of young Hwarin, who playfully jabs, asking if the person next to him has spent their entire life fishing. It's all in good fun. Reflecting on the past 3 months, our narrator shares how these days have brought them closer to their family, a rare, touching moment that life sometimes offers. Back in the day, things were different. Our narrator never spoke to Ki-jung, who, while learning the clan's secret martial arts technique, suffered from chi blockage, which rendered him unable to do much. This unfortunate event led the Tianzhong clan to lose its influence, becoming just a branch of the mighty Yuchi clan. Talk about a fall from grace. The narrator recalls how they were already part of the Sky Ocean Merchant Union, marrying into it, but was too busy to notice their family's woes. By the time the news reached them, it was too late to lend a helping hand. A classic case of you snooze, you lose in the family drama department. Now, back to the present, a concern is raised about young Hwarin stopping the medicines they've been taking. Jokingly, it turns out those meds were responsible for some unwanted weight gain, a relatable struggle. Someone quips, "When were you ever fat?" adding fuel to the comedic fire. Realizing the slip-up, the speaker quickly backtracks, claiming they meant they might become fat. Classic save attempt. The mood lightens as Ki-jung admits, "Anyway, I like how you have been lately," showing that despite the teasing, there's genuine affection. A glimpse of casual relax. "You've been giving me allowances by using bets as excuses. I win, right, Hwarin?" A sly grin accompanies these words as the speaker calls out Huaren for his not-so-subtle generosity masked as gambling wins. Ah! Our hero, faced with 2 baskets of fish, lets out a groan. Clearly, this wasn't the outcome they were hoping for. Or maybe it was the weight of the fish, or perhaps the weight on their wallet. Ugh, my money. Humph, I can't lose again. The lamentation of lost wealth echoes as our poor protagonist comes to terms with yet another defeat. Fish fly through the air, adding to the comedic chaos. The stakes might not be high, but the fish sure are. As fish rain down, the competitors are caught off guard, sending one tumbling backward. It's a fishy mess, but the laughter is real. Why, you're cheating? I've got a really big fish right here. Accusations of foul play spice up the contest, but does anyone really mind when there's a fish that big involved? Ooh-wah! Our blurred-faced character is launched into the air. It's as if this was a scene straight out of a comedy show. With a heroic leap, one of the characters takes a dive, aiming for the water below. It's like a scene out of an action movie, but with an unexpected splash. The water ripples as someone hits the surface. The splash speaks louder than words. I wasn't aware previously that he is such a bright kid. Laughter fills the air, and a realization dawns on one character about the other's cleverness. The 2 characters find themselves in the water, sharing a moment of unexpected camaraderie. They might be wet, but their spirits are anything but dampened. I put too heavy of a burden on him. A moment of introspection for one of the characters as they reflect on the pressures they've placed on the other. I'm sorry, Kajung. Under the shade of trees, an apology is offered. It's a heartfelt moment marking the end of their playful antics. The 2 walk away together, their bond strengthened by the day's events. The scene is set with a close-up of a determined warrior, huffing and puffing like has just run a marathon. But nope, it's just the warm-up. He's out here, under the vast blue sky, showing off those chiseled shoulders and flowing dark locks that scream main character energy. The camera pans down and we see him in full action, pushing his limits with push-ups. His muscles are as sharp as his focus. He muses, I have been spending my days working out. Clearly, this dude's not skipping arm day. Before he can unleash his martial arts prowess, he knows he needs to be in top form. Before starting on martial arts training, he thinks, I have to make sure that I am fit enough. A quick pivot to the side, and has on his back, sweating it out with sit-ups. No pain, no gain, right? The determination is real as he gears up for the next phase of his training. While he's hustling, his mind drifts to a concern. I was sometimes worried that the old man's energy might do something to me again, he reflects. A little cryptic, but intriguing nonetheless. But hey, no need to worry. Nothing's gone wrong yet. He takes solace in the fact that it has yet to cause any trouble for me. Waterfall meditation seems to be the perfect solution to keep any mysterious energies in check. A serene landscape unfolds as he's found a spot under a waterfall, meditating like it's his full-time job. I have developed a habit of meditating underneath the waterfall every morning, he reveals. As the scene shifts, we catch a glimpse of him emerging from the waterfall, water cascading down his robes. He looks like a mix between a monk and a rock star. Something's caught his attention. Enter Seolan as a gentle voice calls out to him. Who's this new player in our story? A new character steps into the spotlight. Yong Solan, the younger half-sister of Yong Hwaran. With her delicate attire and presence, she lights up the scene like a cherry blossom in bloom. Seolan, looking all innocent and graceful, is told by our protagonist, I told you that you don't have to do this. I said that I had never talked to Kajung in my past life, but I was mean to Solan a few times despite how nice she is. She's always been active and friendly. She loves to attend events, like fireworks, and she used to offer to take me with her. However, whenever she offered, I would, Brother, would you like to go to the festival I mentioned? Hey, are you kidding me right now? Do I look like I have the time to play with you? Don't ever ask me something like that again. 2 offers, 2 rejections. That was my tragedy strikes on the way to a festival as a woman is murdered and her father dives into a personal investigation. But alas, fate deals a cruel hand and he gets assassinated too. Then, a bit of nostalgia kicks in as the narrator recalls Seolan's invitations to join her twice. Once for the Moon Festival and then a year later for the Yong Clan Festival. Fireworks light up the sky as a foreboding shadow looms over, hinting at Seolin's impending murder during the festival. An abstract splash of black and white signals a shift in time or mood, leaving us with an ominous feeling. A character calls out to Seolan, setting a scene in what seems to be a serene garden. This character has long dark hair and wears traditional clothes, possibly hinting at a historical setting. Seolan, dressed in a beautiful pink hanbok, is asked if she mentioned that the Moon Festival was today. Her face is blurred, leaving an air of mystery about her identity. A burst of orange light signifies perhaps a sudden realization or an emotional highlight. The blurred figure of Seolan expresses surprise, thinking someone had forgotten about an event. Her delicate hairpin and attire add to her enigmatic allure. Seolan's voice rings with hopeful excitement as she asks if someone will indeed accompany her. The scene opens in a picturesque bamboo forest where a mysterious character with striking long dark hair confidently responds with Thor. Of course, his demeanor is calm and assured, setting the stage for what's to come. But hold up, is that a sleeve tear we see? Yup, things just got real. As if sleeve mishaps weren't enough, the conversation takes a lighthearted turn. On that note, should we go shopping for you? Someone suggests. The response is immediate and excited. Yay! Let's go right now. A little retail therapy, anyone? Then, the narrative shifts into deep thoughts. This is another precious opportunity I have at living, echoes in a moment of reflection. Life's moments are precious, and this character is all about seizing them. In a breathtaking scene, amidst the towering bamboos and a sky that seems endless, two figures stand. Our long-haired friend and a girl in pink, sharing a moment that feels like a new beginning. But there's a shadow of past regrets. I cannot let the same things happen again. The character muses, the resolve in their voice unmistakable. With the moon casting a magical glow over a rugged landscape, the character's determination is palpable. To do that, I need to become stronger. The scene transitions dramatically, with the character silhouetted against a blood-red sky, a symbol of their fiery resolve. Strong enough, the words ring out, echoing the character's fierce determination. The focus shifts to the character, now fully visible. Clad in an elegant white and blue robe, their presence is commanding, eyes set on the horizon. As the scene darkens, the shadow grows, mirroring the character's growing power and ambition. To